Spring break is right around the corner, which means grilling season, which means barbecues with the family. And I'll tell you what, there's nothing more important than family recipes. You know what's also important at a nice barbecue is potato salad, but not just any potato salad. I'm making my family's recipe. We're making German potato salad, and here is how you make it. What you're gonna need is you're gonna need some potatoes, okay? I've got roughly 8 potatoes here that I have already peeled, okay? They've been soaking in this bowl here with some water. I've got a pot of water on the stove boiling, ready to go. We're gonna go ahead and just cut these into manageable pieces, right? A nice dice, okay? Doesn't have to be anything crazy, but cut them into nice sized pieces, okay? We want them to be able to hold its shape after they've cooked and boiled. So the thinner, okay, what we want to avoid is them becoming too thin. Then when you drain it, you know, it becomes kind of a mushy mess, almost like mashed potatoes, okay? Which, nothing wrong with mashed potatoes, but if you're looking to make potato salad, specifically German potato salad, might want to try and avoid it being a mushy mess, okay? So we're going to dice these up. Once these are diced, we're going to go ahead and put them in that pot of water for them to become fork tender and cooked. While that is happening, okay, we're going to go ahead and start to prepare the bacon dressing that is notorious with all German potato salads. It's going to be brown sugary. It's going to have bacon in there, a little bit of onion, some flour, some vinegar, okay, a little bit of acidity. It'll be great, perfect for a nice family gathering, okay? All right, I'm going to keep cutting these, and I will see you in a couple of minutes to prepare the rest of our ingredient. All right, the potatoes in, we diced those are boiling. We're gonna wait until those are fork tender. Next up, I've fried up some bacon here already. Okay, we're gonna chop this up. I reserved some of the bacon grease into a pan that went. I chopped up some white onion, about 1 large white onion. We're gonna toss that in there, fry these up, okay? Once these are fried and tender, okay, a little translucent, what we're gonna do is we are going to blend in our flour, as well as some water, vinegar, and some brown sugar, okay? That will be what makes our sauce. Finally, we will toss in the chopped bacon with the cooked potatoes. Traditionally, German potato salad, you want to serve warm. So this is all should be warm. If you are making this ahead of time, put it into a baking dish. You can easily cover it with aluminum foil, put it in the oven, 300, 350, just kind of let it heat up and warm up. So I'm going to take our large white onion. I'm going to go to the stove top. We're going to fry this up and we're going to get our sauce going. So stay tuned for more. All right, guys, our onions are in our bacon grease. Okay, these are starting to cook up. Again, we want these to be a little bit more translucent. Once we see that, okay, then we will go in with the rest of our ingredients. Okay, I've got the heat set to about medium high. I'm just going to crank it up here just a little bit. Now, again, we're going to cook these onions until they are tender, and then we are going to stir in the flour, okay? I am using 2 tablespoons worth of flour, okay? These are starting to get a nice brown color on them. Those look great, okay? Let that go for like another minute. Once we stir in the flour and blend that well, we're going to add in our vinegar and our water mixture, okay? I am using about 1 1/3 cup of water and about just shy 2/3 of a cup of vinegar, okay? Now, you can use apple cider vinegar. That's probably preferred in this case. I'm going to go ahead and just use regular distilled vinegar because I am adding in brown sugar as opposed to regular sugar for this recipe. So we're going to get a little bit of a different flavor profile, but should be delicious all the same. Okay, these are looking good. Okay, that's about the color I want them to be. They're soft, they're tender, they are a little bit translucent. So we're going to go ahead and go in with our flour. I'm going to go ahead and put our 2 tablespoons of flour over the top there and mix that in. Okay, now we want to make sure at this point we don't want anything to burn, right? So we don't want that flour to burn. You can start to see it's got like little streaks here at the bottom of our pan. So make sure that that is blended well. Okay, I don't see any more of our flour. So we're going to go ahead and go in with the wet ingredients. Okay, like I said, I've got 1 1/3 of a cup of water here. And 2/3 cup of distilled white vinegar. Now, with the flour in there, okay, ideally, this should start to thicken up. You can kind of already see it's got kind of that white color happening here. Okay, that's the flour. It's going to do its thing and bind and tighten up our sauce here. Okay. All right, so we're going to blend this well, and we're going to stir this until we start to see some bubbles. So I'm going to go ahead and crank this to high. All right, we almost want to bring this up to a boil. Once it is starting to boil, that's when we're going to add in our sugar. Okay, now again, I'm not using regular sugar, I'm using brown sugar. We're going to use 1/4 a cup of sugar here. All of that should create our delicious sauce, and then we'll go in with our bacon and potatoes and we'll be all set. So as you can start to see, right, starting to see some bubbles around there. I want to get a few more bubbles going there before we add in our 1/4 cup of sugar. Now, I don't know about you, but my family, potato salad is an absolute must anytime you are grilling, barbecuing. It's just one of those things, right? You got to have it. This German potato salad is my grandmother's. It was passed down to her, so this is a family recipe, and I absolutely love. Okay, now we can start to see some bubbles forming. Ideally, we also want to see this sauce start to thicken up. Okay, so as I go in to stir, I should start to see a little bit more of a thicker consistency to it, which I do. I know it still looks a little bit watery here, but it is a little bit more sauce-like. Okay, as you can kind of see, the way it is dripping there. So that's okay. That's what we want. It's not going to be thick like a barbecue sauce, but it's going to be thick enough so that when we toss in these potatoes with the starch, everything will be perfect, just the way we want it. Okay, this is looking good. So now in goes my 1/4 cup of brown sugar. Whisk that in there. Now we want to cook this until that sugar has dissolved. Okay, we just want that kind of almost molassesy flavor from the brown sugar to help season this. This smells delicious. Okay, yeah, we're definitely getting more of that kind of thicker sauce consistency. So I love this. This is looking great. Okay. All right. We're going to let that kind of go for a couple minutes, and then we'll check on the potatoes, and we'll be ready to assemble this beautiful, classic German potato salad recipe. I cannot wait. I'll meet you over at the counter. All right, our sauce is looking great. Our potatoes are almost done. We're going to take our bacon that we cooked earlier, and we're going to go ahead and just chop this up. Now, there's no like right or wrong way to chop up this bacon. Okay. Some people like it in thicker pieces. Some people like maybe more of a fine cut bacon. I kind of go in between, you know, a little bit happy medium. I would say, you know, 1/4 inch, but this is looking good. I'm going to go ahead and then put this into our sauce. Okay. Give that a good mix. Make sure we get all of those bacon pieces in there. Perfect. Okay. A little whisk into the sauce. Get more of that bacon flavor in there. And remember, we cooked these onions in some bacon fat, so it's already kind of got that bacon signature bacon texture and flavor. This is looking great. All we need now is the potatoes, right? I'm gonna go check the potatoes and I'll be back here. All right, our potatoes are done. And like I said, we wanted them just perfect enough so that they would hold their shape and not become a mushy mess. Fork tender, delicious. All right, all that's left to do is assemble. So we've got our potatoes in our mixing bowl. We've got that beautiful bacon sauce, okay? In that goes. Make sure we get every last drop of this dressing. This is what brings it all together. I can smell the vinegar. I can smell the bacon. Who doesn't love onions, right? Now, gently, because again, we don't want this to become a big soupy mess. We're going to toss this gently into our potato mixture so that we're not mashing these potatoes. We want them to hold their shape. Okay? And look at that. I mean, come on. All that's left to do, serve. Make sure we get a little bit of the potato, a little bit of the bacon. Just going to try a smidge here. Got to save this for the rest of the family. All right. It is time to dig in. German potato salad, the Mr. C family way. Reminds me of my childhood. This brings me back to like July summers in the backyard, smokers in the corner, going on a pork shoulder, prepping this, having the family around, and everyone's just having a blast. Oh, I could eat this entire thing. So good. So easy, just a couple simple ingredients. I mean, 10 out of 10 would recommend to a friend. Thank you so much for watching. What is your favorite type of potato salad? Share your recipes down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe for more tasty recipes coming your way. I am Mr. C, the Cook and Teach, and this is Cook and Teach out.